Okay, we're here for a new episode, or another episode, I should say. Finally getting around to doing some work on the truck. As you can see, we're getting ready to put the transmission in it. We got the 4L80 just about ready to go. We got the Circle D triple disc billet front gadget torque converter thing ready to go in. You can probably hear Brian grunting in the background. And get ready to get under here and try to put this thing in here. That's what she said. And, well, here we go. I'm going to stab the converter. It's already on the jack. We're going to fight this thing and see if we can get it put in its place. I'm wiping off my shaft. Put more fluid in it. It'll be fun. Okay, there's the money shot. We got the torque converter stabbed in there. That was a little bit of a chore underneath the truck. The thing's so heavy. So we're going to go ahead and try to put this thing in place right now. On the jack. There you go.
I can balance it. Let me get under here more. Let me get this leg over here. Okay.
You're twisted right now. The tail shaft needs to go away from you. There you go.
Alright.
Looks like you got that thing tilted way back.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting till you clear, and then I'll raise it up.
That's...
Oh, fuck.
As I was saying.
Pause the video. Can you see on the jack what I need to do?
Yeah, the front of it's got to come towards you.
This needs to come over?
That's the front, yeah.
That was stressful as fuck.
Be careful of tilting it so much, and you're about to lose the wood. Okay, what is your side like now?
It's too high. It looks like this side of the transmission is up. Let me stick my bolt in, I'll tell you for sure.
Here.
Yeah, we're a ½ inch too high.
Okay. Get that and get ready.
Alright.
So I'm going to let it down
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Yeah, like 1/4 inch.
Ready?
Yes.
Up and down.
Alright. Alright, it's hung up. Tranny's bending in the back. Alright, it just moved. Oh, goddamn.
There. Easy, easy, easy. Alright, there it is. 4L80 in the truck. That was kind of sketchy, I'm not going to lie.
Real fucking sketchy. Are you...
What?
Are you insane?
What?
I wouldn't take that out.
Why? It's got 2 bolts in it. Don't be a puss. Act like we've never done this before. Puss.
That's what I'm waiting for.
The crossmember in the truck. Well, let me rewind a little bit. I bought the truck with the 5.3 and a 4L60 already in it. Everything else was stock. A lot of things when you buy a vehicle like this you can't see. I'm about to show you one of those things. This is the transmission crossmember is just, it's terrible. It's about as useless as a cat with roller skates. That's how bad it is. So I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to show you what this thing looks like. And I'm going to show you how we're going to fix it. Okay, there's some quality work right there. And we are going to make it better. Okay, so some plans have changed. Unbeknownst to me, and I have no idea why I thought it would work, but the crossmember for the 4L60 / stock transmission is nowhere near working for the 4L80. No big deal. So I went and bought this universal TransDAP crossmember, and we're hoping that it fits. So I'm going to get under there and do a little bit of checking and see if I can make it work. Alright, so check this out. The TransDAP crossmember actually is going to fit perfect. The transmission is sagging right now because there's nothing holding it up. i.e. the cross member we are putting in. So I got to put a jack under it and raise it up to the correct height. But as you can see, it's going to fit nice. So, okay, so check it out. I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to take these pieces, which eventually weld to the end of the cross member that I showed you earlier. Something like that. We're going to take those. We're going to clamp them down to the table onto a piece of, I think it's 3" by 1/2" 1018 cold roll. So from there, we're going to take our transfer punches and we're going to transfer the marks onto the cold roll, drill and tap them, and then we're going to weld those pieces into the frame. It'll make a nice flat area for this thing to weld to, and it drills and threads pretty easy because the 1018 is kind of soft to work with. So we're going to find the transfer punch that works, that fits these the best. What do you think? Third time's a charm? There we go. Okay, now so we got this piece clamped down to the cold roll onto the table. So all we do, and the reason why we clamp it is because when we punch the first mark, we don't want it to move around. Okay, so that's what you want to end up with, some nice deep punch marks in there. So we're going to clamp the second one up. I clamp them down over the thick part of the table where the leg is right under it, so it's nice and solid when we smack it with a hammer. Got to kind of set the clamp over out of the way. Still lined up good. 2, 3, 4. Alright, once again, in the spirit of the channel, I'm going to do this by hand. Poor drill chuck has seen way too many years of hard life. We're going to thread these holes now that we got them all drilled. Okay, so we got the paint cleaned off of this thing. We got the plates drilled. They're bolted to the caps, so we're going to bolt it to the transmission mount, center it up in the truck, tack weld both pieces in place on both sides, take it all apart, finish weld it, paint it, and put it back in. Alright, now we got it tacked together, I'm going to go ahead and weld this stuff up. Okay, so check it out. Just about everything done underneath. Looks like a shifter cable, transmission pan, and zip tie those transmission lines up out of the way. If you're paying real close attention, you'd see there's a different yoke on the drive shaft there. Explanation coming up on that here in a few seconds. Outside of that, man, we are super close to being done under here. Alright guys, so check this out. I ran into a little problem here, and this is definitely worthy of sharing. So as you can see, I'm holding the yoke out of the transmission here, and you see a U-joint cap in there. The problem is the U-joint cap comes out that easy. I literally reached in with my thumbs and pressed it right out. Now, this is a name brand Spicer U-joint cap, brand new. This is not a name brand yoke. It's not a Spicer. You can see on both sides it's not ID'd. Now, that's only one problem with this yoke. The second problem is the snap ring grooves are too far apart. Now, those two things combined spell a recipe for disaster. If the U-joint starts slapping around inside the yoke, eventually it's going to break the yoke, break the U-joint, or break the drive shaft, maybe even all three at the same time. Since it's in the front of the vehicle, the drive shaft falling down is a big problem if you don't have a drive shaft safety loop, and the truck doesn't yet. Anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, it's not always good to save a few bucks when you're buying parts like this, especially for a hot rod. So when you're building a hot rod, expect the unexpected. This is a new one to me, and I don't know if anybody else has ran across this. I'm kind of curious to see if anybody else has had this problem. If you have, please share it down below in the comment section. I'm really curious. So we're going to wrap this video up. Thanks again for everybody for stopping by, for all the new subscribers. Check it out. Check out the other videos in the playlist on the build of the S10. Other than that, we'll see you in the next video. I appreciate you stopping by, and watch out for the next one because it should be about the tuning and whatnot. Thanks, guys.